All right, let's go. So here I am on my day off, and I am just I'm gonna try to muscle through this. In case you're not wondering what movie I'm currently working on, it's Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 1 is the harder one to have to kind of put together, and so I'm not really like concerned with this one. I just have a few things I want to do with it, and then I'm going to pump out the rough cut. So
Ghostbusters. Yes, we're back. I'm just as thrilled as you are. Something strange going on.
So that's what I did with the Janine shot. I'll fix it. It's obviously like I'm doing this little zoom thing here, and it's so obvious that I'm zooming in. I'm not into that. So I'm gonna hopefully get the zoom to be a lot more subtle. It's gonna happen from farther out and be very slow zoom in. That's more for the polishing stage. What we do is, I don't want to call myself an editor, that's not my profession, but what we do when we edit this kind of thing is we have to make a rough cut, see how it flows, see if the things that we want to do are working, see if the music syncs up, see if there's, something off about it, and then we go in and we do the final polish. So I've done a few things so far. Of course, inserted the Janine transition to the new line that from the I think that was from the trailer. If I could find better footage of this, I would definitely use it. So that's something on the list of things, the to-do list. And then of course I recut the entire montage scene because I actually like the original way I cut it. When you edit, you kind of have this what if feeling after you finish it doing it one way. You say, hey, what if I did it another way? And then I decided to do it a different way, but it always nagged me that the original way I did it felt a lot more like correct. So I decided to put it back. The main difference is that there's like I think it's just a tempo thing. It's a bit more. I moved around two shots from the commercial that's extended. I just moved them around, and it's a tempo thing. It flows better in the original. I'm trying to figure out what part that is. Before I run out of time, I've gone 3 minutes. So I think this is where it happens. Instead of going directly to the, I don't know. I haven't watched this in a while, so I'm kind of seeing it for the first time myself.
Ghostbusters! Yes, that's right. Ghostbusters. We're back with twice the know-how and twice the particle power to deal with all your supernatural elimination needs.
I think that's what it was. I kind of cut it differently before. I don't remember because it's been such a long time. The reason why I haven't been working on this and getting it done, like I had time last weekend that I was off, but my hand, my wrist got kind of sprained, so I couldn't actually articulate the mouse very well. I just needed to take a break. It still hurts, but I'm willing to try to put some more work in and put together a rough cut and then probably release it tomorrow.
grand reopening with our special half-price service plan. What? Hold on, half price? Have we all gone mad? I guess so, Pete, because that's not all. Tell them, Egon.
Oh, you mean the Ghostbusters hot beverage thermal mug and free balloons for the kids?
You bet. So make your supernatural problem.
I'll fix the audio. I'll find a way. Don't worry about that.
Because we're still ready to believe you.
A lot's been going on. I've had my wisdom teeth removed. I still have 2 more to go. I'm gonna go to my dental appointment tomorrow, and it's just, if my hand didn't get sprained, I would have probably had the rough cut out last week. But situation went beyond my control. I actually redid this scene here. I haven't put it in yet. I haven't snuck it back into there yet. So this is the tell. This is the original scene. So it's like, yeah, that fridge, it doesn't stick to, the Coke doesn't stick to the fridge like glue. That's the original tell. Yeah. But I did a couple of adjustments to this because, just things bothered me, so I just did a few adjustments. I mean, part of me doesn't want to change anything, but part of me does. This scene actually goes on longer, and I don't know what they talk about, but there's some more dialogue. But it's all in black and white, so it's like impossible for me to use that footage. I've come to a lot of decisions with what I'm doing with GB2. My thing is to enhance the film, not change anything dramatically. So even though there's like stuff that I'm going to end up leaving out that would have been cool to add, particularly the subplot with Rick Moranis' character Lewis and his cousin or whoever it is, Sherman. It would have been cool to put in that stuff, but it's gonna be pointless, and I know that because we don't have the rest of the scenes, so there's really no point in putting that back in. So I'm just kind of going through, looking through things. Here we go. This I need to do some polishing on. This is like just a continuity error that happens in films a lot. Where something Winston doesn't have his helmet on in one shot, and then he suddenly has it on in the next immediate shot. So that's something that needs to be looked at. And I did a little bit of work on it and put the helmet back on his head. Yeah, exactly this frame. This is where they kind of messed it up. And I'll stick that back in there. It doesn't take much to do that. That's going to be a very easy one to reinsert. Things go on as they go on, and everything works out. Oh, I actually put in. Oh, I didn't even know. This is funny. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't even remember I did this. This is how long it's been since I've been working on this movie. I put in, just to kind of get a sense of where I'm gonna put it, the scene with Slimer and the bus. It's hard to put it in because it really has no place. Like, so much happens between the time Lewis and Slimer are on the bus, and then we cut back to them by the time Lewis is at the museum, and we really don't see anything that happens like between him getting on the bus and him getting off the bus. Now we do, and I'm like, where can I put this scene? I was just struggling with it. So this is, I'll give you a look at what I did with it. I don't even know myself I'm going to keep it this way.
What are you doing here? Well, I don't think that's a good idea. This is just for Ghostbusters. Don't be sad. There's plenty of things you and I can do together. I bet with arms like that, you're a real good bowler. See? Well, why don't you go and celebrate? It's New Year's Eve. Oh. You stink. That guy really stinks. I got a lot of friends that smell. I guess it's not that bad.
That's the idea I had. I found a little tiny gap in where I could probably stick it in.
Is he dead?
This slime is positively charged. He'll wake up feeling like $1,000,000.
Oh, this gentleman is a little bit right. That's all right, my friend. I think I had an accident too.
So you got to think about stuff like that. Does that ruin the tempo and flow of the movie? Is it gonna work? And my thing is, okay, you see Slimer and Lewis here, you see how how their little relationship ends, and then the Vigo fight continues, and it's a while before we get back to seeing the Rick Moranis character Tully. It's a long while. I don't even know when we get back to him. It's hard to say. Okay, so here he is. He kind of comes back here. But, it's an addition. It doesn't really detract from the original story or anything like that. So I'd say it's okay to put it in. And at this point, I got to go and work on trying to put in something regarding them in the mental hospital. That's what I'm going to work on now. I really enjoyed that extra scene with the guys in the mental hospital, and I want to kind of stick that in there somewhere. So I'm struggling to find where that whole part would work. And there's actually a lot of good stuff here with when they're fighting, when they're outside of the museum. There's a couple elements I want to stick back in there, kind of just to flesh it out. And apparently there's so much more dialogue that they had with the fire captain and all this other stuff that happened there that they didn't particularly include. So that's another thing I want to look at. So I'm going to try to get the rough cut put together, and then I'll release it in the comments, the description of this video that I'm making now. And as far as Ghostbusters Afterlife and Ghostbusters, the other one, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I will be very much looking into making something called the Extreme Ghostbusters. And those are going to be fan edits of both those films. I even thinking, I'm conceptualizing combining those two films into one, because I think it'd be interesting. Maybe have one film, be the base, and then the other film's like a flashback film where they flash back to it. There's all kinds of ideas I have to that, because what do I think about Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire? They're slightly misfires as far as Ghostbusters is concerned. I think that just one example is the library ghost in the Frozen Empire. I had this thought that instead of the Patton Oswalt character, Ray goes to the library and he consults the library ghost for information about Garaka. And we learn that the library ghost is actually pretty cool. She's willing to help. And it would have been like a fun way to kind of, play with the dynamic that not all ghosts are bad, some are good. And it would have been, so much better. But they just threw in a quick, silly cameo with the library ghost, and it's like, what can you do at that point? But, if they thought a little more about things when they were making those films, it would have been more interesting. I like Afterlife a lot more than Frozen Empire. And I do have some stuff from the trailers saved on my computer that I saw that were little extra scenes and things. So I'll be trying to put those back in, extra lines, all these little things. And then I'll put out my own little edit of Afterlife. And that's it. We're going to do Frozen Empire as well, because there's a lot of deleted stuff for that. And that film has scenes that I just don't like, and I'm going to get rid of anyway. So That's it. I will see you on the other side.